Coming to you from deep inside the bowels of a great big empty. Get ready for another episode of The Home Defense Show with Skip Coryell.
And that was Golden Glenn, the official announcer of the Home Defense Show, and I'm your host, Skip Coryell, author of 22 books, Marine Corps veteran, founder of the Second Amendment March, proud father of 7, grandfather to 20 and counting, and as a special bonus, I'm also madly in love with my own wife. My priorities in life are God, family, and country in that order, and I hereby promise to never compromise in my convictions. I may go broke, but I'll never go woke. And joining me today is my faithful co-host, my adoring, loving wife, Sara Coryell. Sara.
Hey, glad to be here.
I see you're all bundled up today.
It's chilly in the recording room.
Yeah. The recording room is our pantry, and it's kind of an off room, so it doesn't get a lot of airflow. So about 20 feet away on the other side of the wall, it's nice and warm. But inside here, I'm wrapped in a wool blanket right now.
I have a dog behind me.
And you're wrapped in a dog. Okay. Well, I am just, I'm not loving the weather right now.
Well, one of these days we'll have that schoolie up and running and we'll escape from
And we'll be freezing in the schoolie. Okay.
Escape for January. That's been your plan for a while.
That's right. I'm hopeful for the school bus, because as soon as we get that motorhome up and running, we'll just drive south.
Okay, well, although I hear it's cold south too.
Yeah, it is. But in Florida, it's okay. I have contacts down in Florida, lots of self-defense instructors down there.
Okay.
And they say, yeah, it's freezing down here. You know, it got down to 40 degrees during the night.
Wow.
I would love that. 2 nights ago, when I was driving home,
And -17.
-17.
Yeah.
That's not the wind chill.
No,
That's like the air temperature, and that's just morally wrong. It's terrible.
Well, we keep hearing about temperatures up around like Russia and -60.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know.
How do you live in that? I think you must just have a different way of living, because half my stuff doesn't even work when it gets
You'd have
cold.
to.
My washing machine is non-functioning for the next little
Maybe
bit.
they just hibernate or something.
I know that winter seems to go on. They live somehow.
You know what that reminds me? That reminds me of that. There was an old sitcom, I think it was back in about 1990, called Northern Exposure. You remember
Okay.
that?
I heard about
About
it.
this doctor that moves up to Alaska
Okay.
and lives up there. You know, it's always so appealing when you see it in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, I think
But-
reality would be I'm like living
Well,
on
yeah.
vitamin D and
Well, I remember watching that movie and go, wow, I want to live in Alaska. But most of the time,
yeah,
it's like freezing to death.
for like 3 months out of the year, you might like that.
Well, if we have any Alaska listeners, shoot us an email, skipcoryell@hotmail.com, and let me know what it's like
I'd
up there.
love to hear from them. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be great, actually.
Well, enough of the weather. It's going to warm up. 3-4 months, it'll
Be
be
complaining
fine.
about the heat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could be.
But at least the washing machine works. Oh, goodness.
All right, Sara. Now I want to talk about Professor John R. Lott.
Mhm. All
Okay,
right.
he is the he's probably the gun community's foremost authority on statistics, right? He's a professor, University of Chicago, I believe, from years back. Now he's a statistician, and he's really, really good at what he does. But he wrote the book More Guns, Less Crime. That's what he's most famous for. But I want you to read this article right here. It's out of it's from the New York Post, because everyone has been talking about on the news about how evil Trump is and the ICE, immigration people are all Nazis and they're snatching people off the streets, kidnapping them and separating them from their families and all of this stuff. And um,
If that's true, that's horrible.
well, yeah, if that's true. But John R. Lott, he has a way of, he's not a real emotional person
You said
outwardly.
statistician, right?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed him before. I've, talked to him on the phone and it's like he's just very steady, very even keel, not a lot of voice inflection. I mean, if you measured his voice on an oscilloscope, it would be like straight. It'd be like, Iowa corn,
Is it like,
right?
is there dry humor woven through it or just no?
Well, maybe I just don't have a good sense of humor. I don't know, but I didn't notice any. Nice guy, really nice guy. Just not real emotional, and
Mhm.
that's probably why he's so good at
Oh,
at
yeah.
doing what he does here. But
Yeah.
this is what he says about ICE and the way Trump is running the enforcement arm. Go ahead and start reading, and I'll just interrupt,
Interrupting.
as the spirit moves me. Okay?
Oh, is that how that goes?
Yeah.
Dr. John Lott has a new piece at the New York Post. How Trump's ICE enforcement record blows Obama's out of the water by a lot. The media narrative against President Donald Trump's efforts to enforce immigration law was on full display last week at a White House press briefing. Neal Stanage of The Hill challenged Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly? But John Lott says the numbers tell a very different story about how ICE is doing under President Trump.
Yeah, let me stop you right there.
Sure.
All of those things, she said all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Read what she said again.
Do I have to?
Yeah, just read it again. We're gonna pick it apart.
Okay. 32 people died in ICE custody last year.
All right, so what? How many people died without being in ICE custody?
I feel like we need more information.
Oh, yeah, there's no context there whatsoever.
We were reading about World War II and the way the Germans didn't, well, okay, at the time, no fault to Germans now, but under Hitler,
Just say Nazis.
the Nazis, thank you, were starving their prisoners of war. So they were dying in custody because they were being starved. But I'm thinking, we don't starve people around here, so I'd be really
No.
surprised if that's what was going on.
Well,
We need more information.
you
More
you
information.
do
Mhm.
because people die in prison every single day. I mean, it just happens all over the country.
So it's
It's like we need to know
we died not
how
in
they
prison,
died,
too.
why they
Yeah.
died.
Yes, there's just not enough information there at all.
Exactly.
Okay. It is curious, like I'd like to know more, but that's all we got. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE.
Okay. U.S. citizens. So why are they going out there, stopping cars, dragging U.S. citizens out and putting them in jail? Why are they doing that?
Okay.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I'm not believing her so far.
Well,
And maybe they were defending people they had no business defending. I mean, if they are arresting people who are involved in sex and drug trafficking, then maybe these people were U.S. citizens who were involved in making that happen, and maybe they ought to be in prison. I don't know. Like, we don't have enough information. There's just no information here.
to quote Mr. Bennett from Pride and Prejudice, read on.
Mm. And Renee Good was shot in her. I love there's a right in the quote.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. And Renee Good was shot in the head. It cracks me up. They always use her last name because Good.
Yeah.
But and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. They kind of leave out the part where she was running over him.
Yeah. Well, she tried, but
She hit him, right?
well, she hit him.
Yeah, that counts as running over.
Yeah.
If they hit you, I'd say they ran you over. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
That's a very good question.
Except her premise just makes my blood
Exactly.
boil.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit of bias there
Little bit.
in the news reporting.
Maybe she's not getting all the information, and maybe that's what she wants. But it feels like
You always give these guys the benefit of the doubt, whereas judge them.
Well, I figure we can't make it better if we don't assume that they just don't know.
All right. Well, what does John Lott say?
John Lott says the numbers tell a very different story about how ICE is doing under President Trump. Let's set the baseline. Between the president's January 20, 2025 inauguration and the end of November, Trump's administration arrested an extraordinary total of 595,000 illegal aliens and deported 605,000.
It's not, that's a good start, but
That's
it's
a good
not
start.
enough. But that's pretty good for what, about
So
10 months?
against those numbers, 170 U.S. citizens is like nothing. Just saying, comparatively speaking.
Well,
That's 1 in every 1,000 less than.
it gets even better though. Keep going.
Okay. The 170 ICE detained U.S. citizens cited in Stanagie's diatribe included about 130 arrests for interfering with or assaulting officers, according to the left-leaning ProPublica, justifiable under any reading of the law.
Yeah. Now, what happens when you interfere, obstruct justice, when you get in the way when an officer is arresting someone?
You don't do that. Like, everybody knows this.
Everybody knows
Why are
that.
they doing this? I don't understand.
You're giving, that's what I'm telling you, honey. You can't give the media the benefit of the doubt on this one. They're not stupid.
They haven't earned
They
it.
know. They know what these people are doing. They just don't care. They want to foment rebellion, revolution, violence,
It's
anarchy, chaos. That's the playbook.
I was just talking to some friends at church today, and it sounds like what they're succeeding in fomenting is fear, which can
Yeah.
do all kinds of crazy things. But they're really frightening people by making it sound like ICE is just grabbing people off the streets and dragging them off to prison. And if that's no wonder they're terrified.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'd be scared too if I thought that's what was going on. I'm not watching that kind of news.
Well, I was working my security gig last night, right?
Okay.
And I'm out there in, full uniform, tactical vest, all that stuff.
Mhm.
And there was a Hispanic family that came in.
Okay.
And it's like, a mom and a dad, a grandpa,
Oh,
a bunch of kids.
keep the grandparents with the
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Great.
And the grandpa came over to me and he said, "Are there any ICE agents in the building?"
Oh no.
I said,
Why should
I
you not be here?
I don't think so. I haven't really checked. I said, "Don't worry about it. Go have a good time." But yeah, that's what the media is doing. They're deliberately terrifying these people
But
because they have a political agenda.
it's just
It's wrong. It's wrong.
get
It's
you, guys.
immoral.
Don't let fear get you. It's just fear. Just tell it where to go and send it off. Okay, so only about 40 or so of those who were detained claimed to be U.S. citizens accidentally or erroneously arrested by ICE. But just half of those people were held for more than a day. Most were released in a few hours.
Yeah. So when you make a mistake, basically what's happening is they're casting out a net.
Mhm.
Okay. Like you're fishing, right?
Mhm.
They cast out a net and they bring the net in and go, oh, yeah, like 40 of them were U.S. citizens or the wrong kind of fish. So we throw them back.
Mhm.
That's basically, they're doing the right thing.
Right. And it wasn't like that was 40 out of, 100 or so. It was 40 out of
But a lot of those
over half a
that were
million.
detained were rightfully detained because obstructing justice, especially during an arrest, that's a bad thing. That's a crime. The 170 ICE detained U.S. citizens cited in Stanagie's diatribe included about 130 arrested for interfering with or assaulting officers.
Right. But then there's 40 of them that,
Yeah, I'm not talking
They
about
didn't
the
say.
40. I'm talking about the 130.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the
Okay.
40.
When a cop's making an arrest and you come up there and try and argue with him,
That's a
you-
bad idea.
you're gonna get tased, you're gonna get pepper sprayed, you're gonna get handcuffed, you're gonna throw in the back of the car, and you're gonna deserve every last bit of it. That's my very humble, not so humble opinion.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope it doesn't happen to you,
Oh, it won't. I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected.
even if you're getting arrested wrongfully.
No, these these people aren't being arrested
No.
wrongfully.
Yeah. All right. Any error is serious, but 40 mistakes out of 495 arrests amounts to an error rate of just 0.0067%.
That's not very much.
No, it's very, very small. If you take out the percent sign, that's 0.000067. So
Yeah.
roughly one wrongful detention for every 14,925 arrests. I mean, if my error rate were that good in life, I would be like,
Yeah,
park
I could
computer.
live with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Compare that with the final 2 years of President Barack Obama's administration.
Oh, be still my beating heart.
Well, let's see what happens. In fiscal years 2015 and 2016, ICE recorded 263 mistaken arrests, 54 mistaken detentions, that is bookends, and 4 mistaken removals. They went all the way to removing them from the country by mistake. Oh dear.
Donald Trump hasn't had any.
Mistaken removals?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You get that far, and that was by mistake.
I wonder why we didn't hear about that in the news back in 2015.
263 mistaken arrests, and President Trump's had only 170 mistaken arrests.
In 10 months, but that was in 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
So keep going. What'd she say?
During those 2 years, the error rate under Obama was 3.36 times higher than under President Trump. Stanagy omits one key data point: the number of Americans accidentally deported. The reason for him not doing so is straightforward. None occurred.
Yeah.
That's right. For all the tumult and fury, ICE under President Trump made no erroneous deportations through November. By contrast, ICE under Obama deported 2 U.S. citizens in fiscal year 2015 and 2 more in fiscal year 2016.
Yeah.
How did...
They were probably Republicans, so it's okay.
Oh dear. What? I don't even know where they would put them. I mean, if they're
Well,
U.S.
I
citizens,
don't
where they put them? Uh,
What a fine kettle of fish.
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But this is the stuff that doesn't get on the mainstream news. And that's why people, the last stat that I saw from a survey, 58% of people who responded to this survey in America said that ICE is going about it all wrong and they're not doing a good job. You know, it's because of what they're hearing on the news or around the water cooler. You know, folks, here's my opinion. If you're going to combat lies, how do you do that?
With truth.
With truth. Okay. And you don't do it, you know, with fear. It's like you're at work, you're on the water cooler, and someone makes some, you know, vacuous negative comment about ICE or Trump or whatever. If you say nothing, then you're complicit. You just stand by and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to let you lie. You know, I'm going to let you remain ignorant. But, you know, you don't have to be rude, but you can just, you know, they've stated their opinion based on ignorance. So you state your opinion based on fact and truth. You do that. That's how you fight ignorance and, you know, and lies.
One thing I ran into that was hard when I was talking to my friends at church today, it seemed like they had a whole different set of facts that I'd never heard before. And
that's because they weren't facts.
so my only luckily one of the friends, she was like, well, why don't you just tell us what you're hearing? Because I basically was like, I've never heard what you're saying. I'm hearing something totally different. And so they just kind of let me talk, which they were true friends, and they let me talk, you know. And I care about them enough to risk saying the truth. So I mean that, but I didn't want to be like, that's a lie. but in the end, and one of my friends, she's like, well, maybe both are true somehow. Maybe there's exceptions somehow. I don't know. But one of my friends was worried about, the fear that her people were living in because they were afraid of being, pulled off the street. And I'd like to calm that if that's problematic.
If they're here illegally, they should be afraid of being pulled off the street and deported.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should just go back home where they belong.
Well, she was saying there should be a process so they can become legal, which also makes sense
There is a process where they can become legal, but not
from
after.
inside.
Yeah, it's that's like saying, yeah, okay, I broke into your house and now I want to buy your house. There should be a process for me to be able to buy your house. But my house isn't for sale. I didn't invite you in here. The process is you go through channels, you fill out the paperwork, you apply to come to America, and it
Yeah,
takes years.
sometimes.
No, it does.
Does it really?
Yes,
That's,
yes, it does. Unless we want you here for some reason. But that's the way every other country on the planet does it.
yeah.
All except us. It's like we're supposed to take everybody in, no questions asked, open up the border simply because other people want what we have. And that's what this is all about. I don't blame them for wanting freedom. I don't blame them for wanting a higher standard of living. Okay. But the way to get that isn't to steal your neighbor's house. The way to get it is to, oh, this is my house. I live in this country. It's not free. We're being led by tyrants. What's the fix for that? You can use Iran as an example. What is the fix for Iran?
They seem to be overthrowing their government, I
Well,
guess.
they're trying,
Mm-hmm.
but that's easier said than done.
Much easier said
Once
than
a tyrant is dug in,
done. Mm-hmm.
there's got to be bloodshed before you can get freedom. Why did we in America get this system that we have now? We have a constitutional republic. We have freedom. We have fair elections. We've got capitalism, this high standard of living.
Mm-hmm.
It was through bloodshed that we got it.
Yeah.
And we can't fix the whole world. There's too many people in the world. If everyone in the world came to America and we let them into our borders, we would be a third world country. And we can't do that.
Well, they have space. It would be better if their space was just improved also. That would
Yeah.
be better. Yes.
You want freedom, you want a higher standard of living, get
Somehow.
off your butt, fight for it. Organize, fight for it. Hey, I'll pray for you, but the fight is yours because it's your country. That's why they call it your country and not my country. Okay? I know, I'm a hard man.
Well, I'm just thinking about that old guy you were talking about with his family. I mean, how many, like, are they here because they're here with their family and they're illegally here, or are they here?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. That's not my job. It was none of my business.
Right.
But, this isn't rocket science. This is not
No,
rocket science.
I think there might be some exceptions, but I think in general,
I think
that makes
there's
sense.
probably a lot of good people who are here illegally that want to be citizens, but the system is broken. It's been broken for a long time. It shouldn't take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for someone to become a U.S. citizen if we want them here.
Right.
Okay. But that's the key. We have every right to turn away anybody we want for any reason because we have ownership of this country.
Right.
And if we don't, then we don't have a border. You don't have a border, you don't have a country. Anyways, I know I am a hard man. I'm a hard man, but I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for it. But I tell you what, that's why I have you, Sarah. You balance me with compassion, and I balance you with,
With borders?
yeah, I guess. I guess you got it. Hey, everybody needs borders, right?
You do.
Boundaries,
I
all
believe
of
we
that
talked
stuff.
about that in a different context just earlier today about time and how much we take on.
All right. All right, folks. Well, that about wraps it up for this week's home defense show. Okay. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, United States Concealed Carry Association, shootingclasses.com, Apple Tree Media, and Center Shot Indoor Gun Range for all your training and equipment needs. Oh, and don't forget Trinity Training and Security as well, my good friend Trevor there.
Yeah.
All right, I've written 20 plus books and they're all available on Amazon.com in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This week, check out my geopolitical thriller, We Hold These Truths. I think you'll like it. And also check out the Home Defense Show videos on rumble.com. And if you want training from me in person, then check out Midwest Tactical Training at shootingclasses.com.
Please join us again next week for all your home defense needs. In the meantime, God bless and stay safe.
Yeah, and stay out of my house, too.
Firearms training should be easy. Instructors can focus on teaching and not worry about all the complex paperwork and management behind the scenes. Just pull the trigger and let us do the administrative work. Welcome to shootingclasses.com.
At Center Shot Gun Range, we are passionate about training. Don't know where to start? We offer a 1-hour new shooter seminar to introduce you to the world of firearms and help you find training opportunities specific to you. Concealed carry, home defense, firearm safety, AR-15, private one-on-one training, custom training, or maybe you're on a security team looking to protect your church or business. We even offer weekday morning and evening classes. Center Shot Gun Range has you covered. Start your journey at centershotgunrange.com.
Firearms training should be easy. Instructors can focus on teaching and not worry about all the complex paperwork and management behind the scenes. Just pull the trigger and let us do the administrative work. Welcome to shootingclasses.com.
Attention business owners. Are you leaving your website open to security issues and hacking due to a lack of maintenance or overseas outsourcing? Don't let that happen to your business. Choose experienced U.S.-based website developers that can customize your website to fit your specific needs. Appletree MediaWorks has been growing businesses online since 2009. With over 80 years of combined experience, their team conducts constant research and development to keep up with ever-changing online threats. Your website deserves the best protection available. Call Appletree MediaWorks today at 877-977-1364 to keep your website secure and grow your business online. Or visit appletree.media.
Avoid danger, save lives, and keep your loved ones safe. If this sounds good to you, you sound good to me. And I'd like to help you do those things. Avoid danger, save lives, and keep your loved ones safe. If you're looking for more excitement in your life, we have nothing to offer you. But if you are a thoughtful, responsible, nonviolent man or woman, we'd love to teach you what to do if something crazy happens. More importantly, we'd like to teach you what not to do. We currently have over 500,000 members. They are doctors and single moms and firemen and grandmothers and veterans and Democrats and Republicans and members of every faith. But the one thing they all have in common is that they know exactly what to do if something crazy happens. When you're with one of our members, you are safe. Our members know how to de-escalate situations. They know how to calm things down. We are the United States Concealed Carry Association. See what we're all about at usconcealedcarry.com.
Discover the little-known backstory of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association at usconcealedcarry.com.
Are more important than ever. At Trinity Training and Security, we offer comprehensive training for your peace of mind. Whether you're obtaining your concealed pistol license, mastering CPR and first aid, or engaging in scenario-based training, we've got you covered. We look forward to working with you in one of our classes or bringing the class to your church, school, or business. Need security for an event? Protecting your assets? Our team provides private security, close protection, media crew escorts, high security terminations, and more. Always with discretion and professionalism. With Trinity, safety is more than a service. It's a commitment.